Hey you guys, this is Gabby and I hope you guys are doing well out there. This video is actually going to be about how you can thrive in the workplace. And I know right now with everything that's going on, you may not really be thinking about work and that traditional work environment. However, if everything goes the way I hope it will, we will go back to, as they say, a new normal in several weeks or so, and things will be similar to how it used to be, and we'll be applying for jobs soon, jumping into the workforce soon. This video is really going to be one that can help you as you plan for that. And if you are, I think what really gave me the idea of making this video is the fact that I'm a part of different social work Facebook groups, and I noticed in the group that some of the social workers were having issues with their employers around getting the proper care and safety during these times. People were, what it sounded like, were being put in uncomfortable situations where their safety was at risk and their health was at risk, and they just didn't feel safe given what's going on in the world right now. So that really did make me want to make a video about how to advocate for yourself as a social worker in the workplace. What does advocating for yourself as a social worker look like? And I think we constantly are talking about the importance of advocating for our clients, advocating for our communities, but what about ourselves? That's also important. So this video is going to be focused all on you and what advocating for yourself in the workplace looks like. So I think one thing that's really important is setting the tone for what you expect and what you require from day one. I mentioned this in a past video about how to be successful the first 30 days at a new job, but it's so important to set the tone and to not try to be Superwoman or Superman and show people that you're always going to be available and that they can call you at 12 a.m. and get a response, and really push your boundaries. Because when you start off your work relationship with your new employer and your new colleagues on that note, that's something that they're going to expect from you for from there on out. And do you really want to put yourself in that type of situation where you're compromising yourself, you're compromising your health, your personal time, your family time, all of that, just to be displayed or thought of as the shining star at your workplace? Like, is it really worth it? Yes, we all are interested in career advancement and growing in our fields, but should we be thinking about that if it's at the expense of our own health and our own well-being? I think it's important for everyone to take some time to really think about what they've gone through in the past at work, what worked, what didn't work, and what they're open to and okay with going forward. Only when you do that, and if you reflect on that, can you really make sure that other people understand that. Because if you don't understand it, how can you help other people to understand what you accept and what you're okay with as an employee? And I think learning how to give feedback effectively can help you advocate for yourself too. If you don't know how to effectively give feedback in a tactful manner, in a way that's not going to upset the people that you're talking to and cause a lot of drama and chaos, then you're less likely to stand up and talk to your employer about what you're not okay with and different changes that you want to see. If you've tried to do that in the past and you've noticed that it's backfired and turned into something dramatic and kind of crazy, then it probably makes you scared to try it again in the future. So I think knowing how to give feedback is good. So when you are having a conversation with your employer about something that you want to change, understand that they're people too. They have feelings as well. So if you're giving feedback on the way they do things or their approach to leadership, be sensitive to the fact that that may be hurtful for them, and say it in a way that is sensitive to their feelings. So instead of saying, I thought it was disrespectful the way you told me to lead this community group of 30 people, after we found out what was happening with public health. You can instead say something like, hey, I understand that you really want me to continue to support our clients because, that is our mission. However, given the certain circumstances that are happening, I think it's important for me to have more opportunities to social distance, or I I think we need to come up with creative solutions around how I can still support my clients during this time. And also, when you are standing up for yourself and going to your employer or your colleagues about something that you don't like, don't just say, hey, I don't like this, or hey, this isn't making me happy. Also come with clear ways that you can actually get what you want. So before you approach your employer, think about how exactly you want them to change and what you want them to do. Be solution oriented. Also, you're more likely to get what you want if you put it on the table and make it clear to everyone. So instead of talking to your supervisor and saying, I think I'm being underpaid, go to your supervisor and say, I've done some research and I believe that I may be getting paid lower than what market rate is. However, in order for my salary to be more aligned, I think that I need to be making this much money, and I am willing to do X, Y, and Z to show you that I am prepared and ready to get that position boost. And I think it would make sense if we worked on this timeline in order to move me from this position to the one that I aspire to be at. So be as clear as possible about what you want and outline as much as you can the steps that you are hoping to take to get you and your employer to that next level. And that also strengthens your argument as well. And as I mentioned, it makes it more likely for you to get what you want. And also, I've been put in positions at work where I was pretty uncomfortable because I was asked to do things that were outside of my regular job duties. Honestly, when you're going into your career, you're going to come in contact with these situations. It's something that's completely inevitable. It will happen. You need to have boundaries and you need to have confidence to stand up for yourself and to tell people no in those situations and be very firm about it and make it very clear and close off any further conversation about it. I think that's really important, and it shows people that if they want to do something that is outside of the boundaries of the morals and values of the company, that you're not the person to go to get support with that. And also, when it comes to having confidence at your job and believing in yourself enough to advocate and stand up for what you deserve, I think it's important for you to actually know your worth and to build your worth in the job market as well. Yes, of course, if you're someone who is low skill, you don't have many things to offer, you're going to be less likely to advocate for yourself because you are afraid of losing your job or not getting respect in return, even though that's kind of messed up. No matter if you are low skilled or not, you still deserve respect and you still deserve rights in the workplace. But unfortunately, we know that that's not always the case. Oftentimes people with lower skill sets are the ones who get neglected the most. So one thing you can do to protect yourself is to build your skill set, make sure that you're an asset in the workplace so that you can demand more and that you can confidently advocate for yourself and know that that company has something to lose. So if they don't take what you're saying to heart and listen to your concerns, they could possibly lose you because you have the skill set and you have market value and can leave them and get another job. You want to build yourself up in the marketplace to where you're not easily replaceable. So think about those small skills that you can develop that can make you unique and stand out against other people in the field that you work in. And also something that is important, having a plan B in place, you guys. So it is very important to set aside money for a rainy day and to actually have a safety net. I saw some article and it mentioned that most Americans don't have money set aside for a rainy day. And I understand it's hard for some people to do that because they're living paycheck to paycheck. But if you have an opportunity to put aside even a few dollars a month to build a safety net, I think it's important, and it's going to help you to have the confidence to advocate for yourself and stand up for yourself. Even if it's $50, $100, it will add up. Or putting it in some type of savings account to where it can grow a little bit of interest on it, because there may be a situation where you stand up for yourself and you advocate and it doesn't go in your favor, even though you explain exactly what you want and how you can feel more comfortable in your environment. It doesn't matter. Your employer is not able to give you what you want at this time. Or maybe your employer gets upset that you're standing up for yourself and they start to look for little ways to create issues with what you're doing at the company so that they can, look for ways to let you go. I mean, honestly, this is the real world that can possibly happen. So it's really important for you to have a little bit of safety net so that you can be okay for a few months if you ever find yourself in between jobs. And another way you can have a plan B is by investing in a side hustle or something on the side that can generate you revenue and that you can fall back on if you ever do find yourself in a position where you can't work at a traditional job. If you are let go and you need to find another job, I've actually sat down and thought, if my job became in jeopardy, whether it was due to me not being in alignment with my company or my company not really agreeing with something that I'm doing or difficult times in the world like today. I've thought about what can I do to make sure that I'm still able to sustain myself. So I have experience teaching English online. So I always told myself I'll probably get an online English teaching job. I have experience and skills in pet sitting, so I would probably do that. I have a YouTube channel where I get ad revenue, so I want to continue to build my YouTube channel so that the revenue I get from ads can give me a safety barrier in case I'm in a rainy day one day. So how can you invest in yourself and your skills to the point where you can have something outside of your 9-to-5 job in the case that there's an emergency situation and you need to rely solely on the money that you may be getting from a side hustle? So I think it's really important for people to think about what value they can add to society and how that value could generate additional income. I know as social workers, we're very caring people, and because we're so caring and we just tend to be that personality type that is more sensitive and all about togetherness, and we don't really want to create conflict. That can really lead to us being taken advantage of and not being valued. So this video is just a reminder that even though we are in this field, we still deserve what people in other fields deserve, such as a decent salary, a safe working environment, a work environment where we get respect and where our thoughts and considerations are kept in mind. We still deserve these things. And just because we are a part of the helping field doesn't mean we don't. And also, I want to mention, because we tend to be the personality type, as I mentioned, where we're all about coming together, working together to find solutions, we can run away from conflict. And I've had conversations with other people in the social work field who are ready to quit their jobs, and I talk to them and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Why do you want to move to another job? And they explain to me issues that they're facing with their boss or with their colleagues, and I ask them a simple question: have you talked to them about this? Is this something that you've brought to the table? And often they tell me, kind of, yeah, like a little bit, I alluded to it, I hinted at it, but no, that's really not enough. You have to be very frank and straightforward in a tactful way, as I mentioned before, about the issues that you're dealing with and propose some solutions. You could possibly be leaving a good job simply because you didn't open up about what you wanted and what changes would be best for you. Maybe if you did come to the table with those changes, your supervisor would have been totally okay with it. Maybe he just didn't know that you were struggling and having those issues at work. So I just think it's important for us to, put our conflict aversion to the side and give feedback about things that aren't working for you. So anyways, you guys, this is a video that I thought was very timely and something that I really felt the need to talk about during this time, because as I mentioned, a lot of social workers are being put in situations that they're not comfortable with right now with everything happening. And even outside of what's happening right now in the world, social workers often may find themselves in situations that they're uncomfortable with. And I also know a lot of people who are starting their careers and new in their careers watch my videos. So I think this is just information that you can keep in mind as you find your first job and start on in your first job, so that you can start off on the right foot and be comfortable advocating for yourself at a workplace. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If anyone has any stories or situations where they had to advocate for themselves, please leave that in the comment section below. Let us know how it went. Were you nervous? Did it go well? Did your employer take it well? Please let us know in the comment section below. I'd be interested in getting a conversation started about this. And please subscribe to this video, give this video a thumbs up. I can't thank you guys enough for just supporting me and being here to watch me on this journey. I started on YouTube like 7 years ago, and I started with, you know, just a few hundred subscribers, but just to see it grow over time has been pretty amazing. And yeah, it's just been super, super exciting. So thank you guys so much for watching, and be safe. I wish you guys peace and love, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.